talk about neuropathy because the first one wasn't alive, I guess.
We have a few technical difficulties, but
Yes, yes,
so this is Dr. Lee Zheng.
yes. The Zheng acupuncturist, and this is Dr. Albert.
Yep, so I'm a licensed and board certified family medicine doctor, and I have a certification in integrated medicine as well.
Yeah, integrated medicine will use medication, lifestyle changes, and different kind of functional tests, but not too fancy to cost you some couple of $1,000. And also, Dr.
Herbs and
Albert,
supplements to
yes,
help
the
people,
supplement,
right?
yes. So today we like to talk about the neuropathy, which is the inflammation of the peripheral nerves.
Right. So one of the most common causes for people is diabetic neuropathy. So with diabetes, people have high blood sugars, and these sugar molecules float around and cause havoc in the body and damage nerves kind of throughout the body. People notice the pain typically in their hands or their feet as like a burning or a tingling sensation usually. Uh,
Yes, so the nerves initially it will when it inflamed, it become hyperactive. So you have this tingling sensation, burning, pain, especially before you go to sleep. And that's the initial stage. If you didn't pay attention, then the nerve inflammation get worse and worse, and they lose the function. So you have like numbness, and that will influence your balance, right?
Right, right. And there's a supplement people can take called alpha lipoic acid that's actually very effective for diabetics at reducing this nerve damage and the pain that
So
they have.
that alpha lipoic acid, what kind of food has that?
So it's interesting. It's some vegetables like spinach, I believe, contain
Hmm.
it, but they're very small doses. I think microgram scale,
Okay.
whereas the supplements are in the milligrams.
Okay.
So like tenfold the amount that you could get from eating certain foods.
Okay.
So I think the study dose was 600 milligrams twice a day of alpha lipoic acid. There's no real downside to taking it either. I mean,
Ah,
it's an antioxidant, so it's fairly safe to take.
okay. So if you have initial symptoms of neuropathy or it progress very fast, then you can take this supplement. And also you have to address the root cause of inflammation and poor circulation.
Right.
So using acupuncture, herbs, and control your blood sugar, you can target this root cause, right?
Right. And there are a lot of other potential causes of neuropathy too. Right.
Yes.
So heavy metals could be one. A lot of people during the pandemic took zinc because they thought it would boost their immune system, help them, not get sick and not contract COVID. However, people taking above 40 milligrams of zinc a day could cause nerve damage. And part of it is that it impairs their ability to absorb copper. And that results in balance issues, pain in their extremities, their hands and feet.
Ah.
So I've seen a few cases of that since the pandemic, and I think it's become more common since then, unfortunately.
Yes, the zinc will enhance your immune system, but if your immune system hyperactive, then it can attack your own tissue, right?
Right, right,
So that's give another kind of neuropathy from autoimmune disease, right?
yeah,
Like MS, ALS. So that's the imbalance of immune system. So anything stimulate your nerves. If you take too much, then you make your immune system out of balance, and then you can potentially, uh, create more inflammation in different parts of the body.
right. And there's some new evidence pointing to the microbiome and how it affects the immune system function in terms of these autoimmune diseases like multiple sclerosis and ALS. So that's very interesting. There are some probiotics people may be able to take that might help um, you know, reduce their immune system from attacking their own nervous system or their own body.
Yes, and that brings up um, the foundation of Chinese herbal formula. If you look at all the formulas, almost every single formula has the herbs to target your digestive system.
Mm,
So we realized 5,000 years ago, the digestion is the key to the healthy body. And remember, did you ever take the Poria? Or
Yes, I did try to.
yes, you
The
did.
taste is not very good.
In Qing Dynasty, they use poria. Is that a kind of fungus?
It's a fungus.
Yes, they use that poria to to make a cake. So there is this kind of a emperor diet. It's a poria cake, which helping the digestion, and poria itself can calm down the nervous system.
Interesting.
So
I eat 100% chocolate, and I find that I have like a good palate for things that are strong, but Oreo was very difficult to.
really, what kind of taste is that?
I don't know. It's strange. It was very strange taste, and I
Okay.
actually like natto, the fermented
Ah,
soybeans. So
okay.
yeah.
So the natto, I heard that the fermented food could increase the histamine level. Is that right?
It depends on the type. Yeah. So
Okay.
I think sauerkraut, and pickles are like the classic types that could increase
Okay.
histamine levels.
Okay. So if, for instance, my histamine level, the base level already high, and histamine is the chemical stimulate the nerves. So then if I eat a lot of was it sourdough?
Sauerkraut.
Sauerkraut, or I can eat a lot of cashew or nuts and seeds. That brings up my histamine level even higher. Then I could have different kind of rashes, or some people develop eczema, psoriasis. So everything has to be moderation, right?
Right, right. And so it depends on your own microbiome and how strong it is to interact with the things that you're introducing.
That's
You know,
right.
right?
Yes. So if you sleep well, longer, deeper, and I think you can tolerate more. And if you don't sleep that much, then you have to be careful with your diet or your lifestyle, right?
Right. And certain probiotics can be very helpful too
Yes,
at
yes.
resisting, damaging things like the typical lactobacillus probiotics or bifidobacterium that people see in the stores can be helpful for a lot of people.
Yes, if you have stronger digestive system, then you can absorb minerals and vitamins much more efficiently, and your nerves will be healthier.
Right. And everybody's different. It's interesting because some probiotics are good for, one person, then it's bad for another person.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's
So,
very different.
so you just have to observe how. I recommend you take anything, you write down how you feel for the next couple of months and see if you need to switch other things or adjust the dosage, and just pay attention to your body, right?
Right. And typically people will want to try more than one thing at once. And so that kind of complicates
Yes,
the picture. So,
exactly.
if you're not really entirely sure what you're doing, if it's not a specific formula for certain indication, right, then, sometimes it can be helpful to try one thing at a time to write down all of your symptoms and see, how things are progressing.
Yes. So you have to really kind of pay attention to your own behavior, your own thought. And so meditation train our mind to focus on things. When you meditated, your nerves are more focused, and you can pay attention to your body, how it changes.
Right. And sometimes, people have back pain or sciatica, right, or carpal tunnel that can be a type of neuropathy. And typically
Yes.
that's from the muscles being inflamed or swollen, or in the back, it could be a disc having an issue, right? That could be pushing on a nerve nearby.
Yes. So if you have a herniated disc or bulging disc, you have to address that with my acupuncture, or you can go to Dr. Albert and get some temporary. How do you think the temporary steroid? I just think that it reduces swelling, but
Well, yeah, it reduces swelling, but it doesn't, fix the underlying cause of the
yes,
issue. So you have to figure out what's the root cause, first of all.
yes.
Right.
And if repetitively get an injection of steroid, it can weaken your muscle, right?
Yes, it can weaken all of the tissues, the tendons, ligaments, bones.
Yes,
So,
yes.
yeah, so it can increase risk for osteoporosis, steroids.
Yes, especially for menopause women, you're already prone to have osteoporosis. And if you get multiple steroid injection, then your pain level going down, and you think, oh, I'm strong, so I can do everything. Then you can just torn your ligament, right?
Right, and it's just a very temporary thing, so, it just gives people time, you know, but it doesn't really fix the issue, and it causes more problems down the road.
Yes, especially if you're still young, you want to strengthen your muscle, improve the circulation, then you really shouldn't have many times of steroid injection.
Right, right, and nowadays we have the joint fluid injections too, which can help people, but again, that's temporary because, your body just resorbs that or just absorbs it back over time, so it doesn't really last in there for, very more than, like, 6 months typically. So
Yes, and I have patient like, I mean, she's 94, so she is not as active. So they give like steroid injection every 2 weeks, and the skin is transparent.
skin can get very thin, yeah, but
Yeah,
some people at that age, when they're in their 90s, sometimes the steroid can give them just enough time, because maybe they don't have so long anyways, to give them a little bit
yes,
more quality of life for whatever time they have.
yes. But if you're active, you want to walk, you want to run, you want to swim, then you really have to address the root cause.
Right, and swimming's great for people, it takes
Yes.
pressure off of a lot of joints, and you have the sensory deprivation, right, where you're underwater and blocking out all the noises outside and things like that, so
So you can meditate when you're swimming.
yeah.
Yes, and just clear up your head and bring down your anxiety level. So when you get out, your circulation get better and your mind is calmer.
Right, and if you're at the beach, then you get the salt water that opens up your airway passages, right? The saline, because we use saline nasal sprays, salt water nasal sprays to help open up airways and help people breathe
Ah,
better.
no wonder I really love the beach. And I don't swim in the ocean because there is shark in Florida, but I do want to walk on the beach.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful because it can be pretty rough out there. So you have to know what you're doing for sure.
Yes, so if you have neuropathy and you really want to improve the circulation, then you can go to the beach and lying down there and elevated your legs and then just doing your meditation.
Right, and even elevating your legs at home so you get better return of blood flow, and it
Yes,
doesn't just sit, and stagnate in the feet
yes,
especially.
yes. So the older people, I watch their feet. It looks purple. And once they lie down, it turns to pink. So it's really a free treatment to bring the blood flow to your feet, improve the circulation.
Right, along with acupuncture. Right.
Yes, and also certain kind of herbs, you think cinnamon?
Yes, so well,
Yeah.
some herbs can help you up, like horse chestnut,
Mm,
right? There are certain
yes,
herbs that can help with blood flow and through the veins and integrity of the walls of the veins so that they don't
yes,
leak as much. That's
yes.
mainly how a lot of the herbs actually
So
work.
which herb you think can repair the wall or
Well, usually I start with horse chestnut for people, but there are several different types. You just have to know the person's, other medical conditions and medications, right?
okay. So you actually can put different herbs together, right? So you can put like two, three, or you even start with one. I usually use a small formula that has been used for many years, and then I will add another one after a while. So you can do the Western herb the similar way, right?
Yeah, yeah, and typically in the West, we bandage or wrap, the
Uh-huh.
feet all the way up to help push the blood flow
Yes.
back up too.
Yes, yes. And then you're combining lifestyle changes and herbs to help the nerve regenerate.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And any questions, you can send us email lee.acumagic@gmail.com or Dr. Albert.
Yeah. BocaDirectMD@gmail.com. Or feel free to call my office.
Yeah, he will give you the right answer. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.